So I know it's a bit late for the first video this year, but I just decided to get this channel going now. So it is Friday, July 10th. Here is the backyard garden. This is some ornamental corn. The tallest plants are about waist high, about 3 to 4 feet. Here we have 3 tomatoes. These are better boys on the ends, and that's a Cherokee purple in the middle. I have 2 cucumber plants here. They're not anything special, they're just your typical slicing cucumber. No pickling cucumbers or seedless or anything like that. And these are 3 rows of green beans here. Those get significantly less sun back there than the front ones do, so there's a very noticeable size difference, but they all end up doing pretty well. And this bed here is pretty exceptional to me because everything you see growing here, except the tomato plants, sprouted from whatever decayed here over the winter. So you've got a nice group of sunflowers. These are all Pikes Peak mammoth variety. They're not getting exceptionally huge, but they are very tall. Pikes Peak is a very tall variety, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you're willing to deal with or have the space to deal with such a tall plant. The only one that is not a typical mammoth is this here. This is a velvet queen, and it's actually starting to head out. So these have been growing since about mid-April. You know, they sprouted as soon as it got warm because the seeds were dormant in the soil. And down here, these are gourds. I really don't know what they're going to look like and what colors they might be, but just some decorative gourds that I threw here in the fall. This is all doing pretty well. The tomatoes are kind of getting choked out by the gourds, but we'll see what they do. One of them's already setting fruit, so that's nice. A little cat statue in there. Yeah, didn't really have to do anything other than thin out the gourd plants, and I think there's still too many. But I really didn't have to do anything here. This all just grew. Pretty nice. The only issue I'm having is too much nitrogen in this soil. I definitely over-fertilized when these things were tiny because my gourd plants, while they're growing these magnificent vines and these huge, huge leaves, there's not a whole lot of female flowers. Pretty much just male. I know this can happen when you over-fertilize, and that was my mistake. We have a few. Like here's a healthy one. There's one other one somewhere in here, but I know they're going to set fruit pretty late if they even set fruit at all, which is somewhat disappointing, but still got a very nice, pleasing jungle down here, so I'm happy with it regardless.